What's up guys, thanks for tuning into the channel. My name is John and I am a photographer. I started in astrophotography about 4 or 5 years ago after obsessively watching basically every single space show on YouTube available. And yes, my girlfriend did hate me. I actually have another channel called WVAstronomy where I cover all kinds of videos about astronomy and astrophotography from my backyard here in Sinks Grove, West Virginia. If you are into astrophotography, definitely go check out that channel. I'll leave a link in the description for that. This channel is going to be just for general photography kind of stuff. Instead of trying to mix it with the astronomy channel, I figured this would be a little better approach. I am a portrait photographer that works for Greenbrier Photography. I'm located inside of the Greenbrier Resort Hotel in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. We do all kinds of events, open sessions, private sessions. We do weddings and sporting events. Basically anything to do with photography we do. I do that 4 to 5 days a week, and then I cook at my family-owned restaurant 2 days a week. Anytime in between, I'm doing landscape photography, studying composition and lighting, watching basically any kind of YouTube tutorial I can get my hands on. At night, I do my astrophotography. So I pretty much eat, sleep, and breathe photography. I never really imagined that I would become this portrait photographer at some fancy resort, but I've learned so much about composition, lighting, and about how to pose people and what looks good, what doesn't look good, but more importantly, why something doesn't look good. When it comes to photography, composition is one of the most important things to learn, so you want to constantly be practicing this skill. Some people have a natural ability to kind of just spot a good composition. I'm definitely not one of them. So other people like me study and practice to get better at this skill, and eventually you'll get to where you start having fun and not worrying so much about the technical stuff. It's super easy to get discouraged and feel like you're not going anywhere, you're not getting good pictures, they all suck. I've all been there, so just stick with it and you will get better, I promise. I'm not going to try to tell you what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, or the settings that you should be using, because those will change from scene to scene. But instead, I'm going to show you how I approach a scene, what's going through my head, what I'm looking for in a good composition, what is good light, what is bad light, the best time of the day is to go and do photography. That I will show you how to do. So it's my hopes for this channel to kind of just share my knowledge, maybe inspire others and help people understand photography a little better and maybe understand their cameras a little better. I have a lot of projects planned this year, one of which is coming up next weekend, so stay tuned for that video guys. It should be really awesome. Real quick, I'm just going to go over some of the gear that I'm using right now, a few of my favorite lenses, take a look at some of my most recent images. So I'm currently shooting on the Sony system and I'm using the Sony A7R Mark II right now. 42 megapixel full frame mirrorless camera. Now I do have a Canon 80D that I use on occasion. It is astro modified, and what that means is the camera's actually been taken apart and the internal IR cut filter has been removed from the sensor. And what this does, when you take photographs of the night sky, there's a lot of hydrogen alpha. Having that IR cut filter over your sensor blocks all that hydrogen alpha gas. So removing that filter will allow all those red colors to really pop in your images. Now you can use it for daytime photography and it makes everything green look kind of white and snowy, kind of black and white looking. I'll probably do a couple videos later on in the year about some infrared photography, so stay tuned for that also. The 3 main lenses that I'm using right now are the Sony 70-200 f4G lens, the IRIX Dragonfly 45mm f1.4 prime lens, and the Samyang 14mm f2.8 prime lens. And that covers a pretty wide variety of focal lengths for me, and I've gotten some great results using this setup. I also have a Rokinon 135 f2 that I absolutely love, but I haven't really gotten to use it too much since getting the 70-200, but it does super good for astrophotography. It's definitely a keeper. I have the Canon 50mm f1.8 prime lens, aka the Nifty 50, and it's a great all-around budget lens. I'll leave a link in the description below for that. It was the first lens I ever bought. I haven't used it much since getting the IRIX 45mm, so it just kind of sits on my shelf. But check that lens out guys, it's a good one. I also have this adapter that I can connect onto my Sony camera that will allow me to use my lenses on both systems. So I also have a Tamron 10-24mm, and it's just a basic kit lens, but it does pretty good, but it's just not as sharp as I like, so I find myself not using it as much as I probably should. Typically, I'm just switching between those 3 lenses. It's done great. I am looking into getting a 24 to 105. So that's what we use at doing portraits, and it seems to do really good. So I have a Leophoto tripod that I just ordered with a new ball head. So hopefully that'll be here in a few days, and we can do an unboxing review of that tripod. So, and we'll take a look at a few of my most recent favorite images. So if you guys enjoy content like this and want to see more videos like this and want to show support, you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you want. Give me a thumbs up. It really does kind of help push these videos out to more people. Right now I plan on uploading at least 1 video a week, kind of just showing you what's going on in my photography life and all that. So until then, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace.